Alright. Alright, what's up guys? This is Chris here. So I'm on my shitty phone, my 4G phone. So I know the quality sucks, so I'm sorry about that. So, I'm here right now, 11 o'clock. I just came from the tech rally, the tech warehouse workers rally launch, cafe launch up in like Midtown, pushing Midtown Manhattan, like Gramercy Park. So now I'm here right now for the AAPI budget launch initiative hosted by, then over now, Homecrest, yep, shout out to Homecrest. You got Asian American Arts Alliance, then you got SAFNA, and then you got CACF. So we're here for this right here. I'm going live. I'm gonna get the high quality video. I'm recording high quality video on this phone, and we upload it later on. But I'm going live for a reason. You know what I mean? Oh, we have Wheelie Chan here. She runs the city council. You know what I mean? So running against Susan Zwang and shit like that. So she's executive director for Homecrest. So I mean, you can't get mad at that at all. So you know what I mean? This is it right here. You know what I mean? This is crazy. So it's gonna start at 11 o'clock. It's only 10:52. So it starts in 8 minutes. So not bad at all. So
yeah, next year middle school. Yeah. That's crazy. It's so crazy. I'm surprised we've known each other that long. Anyway, let me know if you need me. I'm not even allowed to go to like galas or anything. Yeah, I'm like banned from everything.
see the photo, so you see it's here.
If you're casting, can you not block our casting?
Yeah, I got you. No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yes.
I sent it to him. He's just gonna send it.
Yeah.
I actually it has not. But it says here we have implemented. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's gonna start in about 5 minutes. So yeah, it's a lot of people here. It's like probably like 30 people here. It's got a good amount for a launch. Probably don't let the officials out here yet, but don't let the officials out. No surprise. You know what I'm saying?
Winnie, wanna put your phone in?
Can I borrow your pen?
I'm not.
See, add a car here. I'm just live streaming this, guys. I'm just live streaming. 40%, not bad at all. See here, you know, count about 35, 40 people that's here for this campaign launch. They are seeking money for the budget. So that's all it's about. All it's about for the budget, guys. All about the budget. And they have every right to it, you know. I hope they have a Q&A. I mean, ask some questions about this stuff. But, you know what I'm saying?
Right in front of them.
Got it. And then walking here.
So let me go back here. As you guys see here, I have no press pass. I left at my house. I had this business to do this morning, so I wasn't able to do it. So I just came uptown, and now I'm downtown. Cover this event. Live stream. I know the screen is going to be crappy, but you go and get it. All right, guys? Go back. Start 10 minutes.
Save for us for next year.
CACF.
It's cold. It's windy. It's a little windy.
Better than hot. Better than hot.
I know it is.
Okay.
Not the
Oh, sorry about that. Apologize. So, yes, I'll start 10 minutes late. What? Time's an hour. What? 10:58? 10:58 start. 10:58, so I'll start level 5. Start 7 minutes. So, it is cold as hell out here. Real cold. For spring. Real cold for spring. You know? Come on. Shout out to Homecrest. Sapna, NYC, Attica. You have CACF out here. So, and then you have
And Chris, just a reminder to just back up and watch yourself over and
yeah.
get hurt.
Yeah.
And then Ida's just going to be here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
When he's going to be here,
Yeah.
so she can record.
All right, cool. Yeah, no problem. She's gonna be here, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here.
Folks like after this, if
Yeah.
comms, you're going to stay on the comm side.
All right, cool. Gotcha. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm live streaming, so I mean, no affect me. Asian American Arts Alliance, you know, so we got them here too. So these nonprofits want their money. They want their money. You know what I mean? They want their money. UA3 share.
Countdown Manpower? GMP?
Yeah.
SUMSA, NYC! Addicar! Diana, yeah! KCS? Not yet.
Not yet.
India Hall is in the house! Minko! It's not alphabetical. Okay. A place for kids. Amps. Anyway, all right. NAFA, National Federation of Philippine American Association.
Not here yet. Not here
I
yet.
know this one's here. Home Press. All right. CPC.
Walking behind you. Right behind you.
Oh, CPC's here, yeah. So
Alright.
CPC is here.
Youth action. Not yet. Alright. Queen American Family Service Center, KEFSC. And India Home.
So the time is now, it's 11:01, so it starts 4 minutes. So, I mean, so yeah.
So just so we're not saying, the only speakers we have right now are Carlin, and CMP.
So yeah, you see this here. There's a lot of people here, man.
And we're still waiting for them just so we can
Vanessa, I'll start without amplified sound when we get to the speakers.
All right. So maybe should we practice it?
Yeah.
Chant? What was your chant, Felicia? Okay. All right. Where is Felicia?
So you see,
Oh, Felicia, do you want to practice a chant? The crowd? I just want to arrange so you guys can higher.
so they want
A little bit. Oh yeah, actually, yes. Are you guys okay, crowding? She's going for 2 minutes. Then you'll be in the center.
you see here, shout out to DJ Seven. I mean, he watching. Shout out to DJ Seven. So I know you declined. I know.
All right, here we go. We're going to practice a chant, okay? We're going to do it a couple of times.
They want
And
money.
then people just join along. All right? All right, it goes like this. We're going to clap. I don't know, folks who can clap can clap. All right, it goes like this. A fair, inclusive, equitable budget. 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 All right. You guys got that? When Felicia comes, that's going to be her thing. So, like, I want to make sure you guys are a little warmed up. You can respond. Let's do that one more. How about this one? We are 18%. 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 Great. You guys are good. Great practice. I think people are coming.
CMP's in the house.
Who?
CMP's in the house in the end.
CMP. All right. Okay. All right, guys. All right. We're just going to situate a couple more people and get close up. Pick them back. See, this should go in
Asian American Asian Research Institute. AARI, AARI, CUNY,
I
New
just
York.
went up there and you should know word back from the supervisor. But we have the permit.
All right, we're facing this way, right?
Facing this way.
All right, guys.
Oh, KCS is here.
All right. KCS! Woo! All right. All right, come on in, guys. You know what? We can't block this. We can't block me out. So if you can, just come around to that side. We can come in the middle. Or we can go into the
Sap, no, everybody's here. All nonprofits are here.
You guys want to hold
They want that. They want that money.
Come around. You're not. Well, you can see
All right.
it.
We're good for sound.
We're good for
We're good for sound.
I feel like I'm loud, but okay. I feel like it's something to hold. All right. Setting up sound. Well, guys, we have sound. We have amplification because we're on the sidewalk. Yes, there's science here. So just to fill you all in, those of you who just came in, we're going to get started in a minute. today on the City Hall steps. They're fixing them up so next year we can be there and be double our size, triple our size, and serve won't fail us. Yes.
Testing.
Well, we know we're coming, for this year. This is just our kickoff in Manhattan, and we're going to make it over to Brooklyn, we're going to make it over to Queens, and we're going to make it over to the Bronx this year. We're going to be in Brooklyn next year. All right. Was that like a question?
Test.
All right. Kicking off?
Yeah, I think we can kick off today. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you for marking the beginning of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month today with 18% and growing. Woohoo! Okay, so I am Anita. I am the co-executive director of CACF, and I'm going to hand the mic.
And CACF is the Coalition for Asian American Children and Families. I'm Vanessa Leung, co-executive director. Along with all of our members and partners today, CACF is building an AAPI community too powerful to ignore.
That's right. We are 18% of New York City and growing. We represent today over 90 community-based organizations working to support and help our communities thrive. We are representing diverse East Asian, South Asian, Southeast Asian, West and Central Asian communities. We are not a monolith. No, we are diverse and we are here united together to fight for a fair, inclusive, and equitable budget. A fair, inclusive, and equitable budget. A fair, inclusive, and equitable budget. That's right, that is not balanced on the backs of those of us who struggle the most.
And so for almost 2 decades, we have come together to advocate as a united AAPI community. We started as 10% and growing, right? And today we're 18% and growing. We are the fastest growing community across the 5 boroughs, and we need a budget that reflects that.
That's right. AAPI New Yorkers, we are workers. We are employers, we are volunteers, and we are taxpayers. We are not a model minority. We absolutely face challenges in our communities. We continue to be devastated by anti-Asian hate and violence. During the past few years, Asian Americans experienced the largest increase in joblessness across New York City. We continue to face the highest poverty rates and limited English proficiency.
But we know we don't do this alone. So we thank our champions in the City Council who have fought to grow the much needed resources for our communities for these past few years. The AAPI Community Support Initiative was begun through our work in partnership together with all of you here and everybody else across the city. That money supported life-affirming services, racial healing programs, and redefined safety in our community as not just the absence of crime, but the presence of wellness.
That's right, and today we are here asking our champions to continue to fight for us. We require the resources to serve our communities and our growing needs. We need culturally responsive and language accessible services and supports. We need our communities to thrive along with all of New York City because we are New York City. We are 18% and growing.
So it is actually my honor to actually turn the mic over to CACF's Director of Policy and Government Relations, Felicia Singh.
Thank you. Let's start with a chant.
Get ready to clap if you can. And if you can't clap, make sure I hear your voices really loud. A fair, equitable, inclusive budget. A fair, equitable, inclusive budget. A fair, equitable, inclusive budget. Thank you so much. I'm so excited that you're all here. I am Felicia Singh, Director of Policy and Government Relations at CACF. Currently, the AAPI community is by percentage the fastest growing group in New York City, nearly doubling every decade since 1970, and making up 18% of the population. Unfortunately, current levels of public funding for the AAPI community remains disproportionate to our community's expansive growth and needs. We are not your model minority, right? We are not the model minority. No way. In fiscal year 2024, we are hoping for an enhancement to critically invest in our 90 AAPI-led and serving community-based organizations that provide culturally responsive, linguistically accessible direct services to the hundreds of thousands of AAPI New Yorkers across the city. And guess what? Y'all are all behind me right here. So give a round of applause and a cheer. Our community needs mental health for vulnerable children and families. Our community needs mental health care for children and families. We need support to combat domestic violence. We need support for food pantries that are still happening across this city. We need accessible health care and so much more. So this year, our budget priorities are $7.5 million for AAPI Community Support Initiative, $4 million for Access Health NYC, $7.5 million for our Communities of Color Nonprofit Stabilization Fund. That's right. Communities and programs like Access Health NYC fund CBOs to provide education, outreach, and assistance to all New Yorkers on how to access healthcare coverage, how to ensure that you are able to get the healthcare needs in your community. So Access Health NYC, which is our $4 million ask, is incredibly important. We want a fair, equitable, and inclusive budget. The time is now to fund our communities, right? Thank you. I'm going to pass it back to Clifford.
Thank you, Felicia. Again, what do we want? We want a fair, equitable, inclusive budget. A fair, equitable, inclusive budget. One more time. A fair, equitable, inclusive budget. We stand here today with our diverse allies. I see so many of you on those planning calls. I see so many of you at these rallies. I see so many of you working day in, day out as a community-based organization, a social service provider, but more importantly, a medium to culturally responsive care and linguistically accessible care in a society where you are doing the work, employing hundreds and thousands of AAPI New Yorkers, and you are providing care and not cuts within homes of AAPI families, right? So again, my name is Clifford Ramataprosa, Budget Policy Coordinator for CACF. Now we have a great line of speakers coming up, right? A great line of community leaders and organizers and providers who care about our community and cares what we need to put back. It's the budget now and going forward in the city of New York. So first up, I want to introduce Carlin Cowan, the Chief Policy and Public Affairs Officer for the Chinese American Planning Council. Shout out to Carlin for making it out here.
Good morning, y'all. Okay, I know it's raining, but we can do a little better than that. Good morning, y'all. All right, that is the energy that we are bringing to this budget fight. My name is Carlin Cowan, pronouns they, them, and I'm with the Chinese American Planning Council, CPC. Since 1965, CPC has been working with Chinese American, Asian American, and immigrant community members to provide across-the-board social services in all 5 boroughs in New York City. The needs in our community have only grown in the last few years. Yet we haven't seen the funding grow proportionate to those needs, have we? No. And that's not okay, and that's why we're all here today. CPC, before 2020, served 60,000 New Yorkers every year. Now we serve over 200,000 New Yorkers every year because those community needs only keep growing. And yes, we're proud to serve our community members, but that's not a number we're proud of because we shouldn't have that many community members that need help getting food, that need help getting housing, that need help getting health care on a daily basis. I'm tired of talking about what our community members need. I'm ready to talk about what our community members deserve because we all deserve to thrive. Our community members deserve safe, affordable housing. Our community members deserve health care in the languages we speak and affordably with insurance. Our community members deserve resources and information provided in the languages that we speak with trusted organizations that are ready to provide it and help our community members through it. Our community members deserve true public safety. Our community members deserve care and not cuts. And that's why we're all here today calling for Access Health, calling for language access, calling for the AAPI Community Support Initiative, and calling for a budget that lifts up and invests in our communities instead of a budget that cuts and uses policing to harm our communities. We are ready to invest in all of our diverse communities now. Thank you.
Thanks, Carlin. Now, again, what do we want? A fair, equitable, and inclusive budget, right? And so I want to call on, I think Shin is here. She is the budget director for Councilmember Ng, who couldn't make it but sent Shin to say a few words in solidarity.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shin Woo. I am the budget director for Councilmember Ng. I would like to first thank CACF for hosting this 18% and growing rally. It is an honor to be standing among community leaders who comes together to articulate one thing, right? A fair, equitable, inclusive budget. As our representation and numbers continue to grow, we will ensure that growth is not only reflected in our numbers but also in our funding. In all levels of government. Councilmember Ng is happy and will continue to support and advocate for these important initiatives and policies that will not only promote equity but also celebrates our diversity. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shin. Now, I want everyone here, take a look around you. Take a look at the diversity here, the diversity in culture and languages and the neighborhoods, right? And this is exactly what we're fighting for. And so next up, I want to introduce Rochelle Ocampo. She's the president of the National Federation of Filipino American Associations New York chapter. Shout out to the Filipinos in the room.
Thank you, Clifford, and thank you, CACF and the 18% and Growing Coalition for hosting this. I am, as Clifford said, Rochelle Ocampo, and I'm the president of NAFA, National Federation of Filipino American Associations, New York chapter, and proud member of CACF and this growing coalition. NAFA's mission is to promote the welfare and well-being of Filipino Americans by amplifying our voices, advocating on behalf of our interests, and providing resources. With Filipinos representing 6.7% of AAPIs in New York City, the Filipino population is the fourth largest AAPI population in both New York City and New York State. Yet, we are still excluded. Yet, we still experience widening gaps between the critical investments of the government and our community's needs. In the past decade, we lost 3 physical spaces for Filipinos to gather and receive direct services. Today, we are asking for equitable access and opportunity to critical funding for our community. A community center would allow Filipinos to have a safe space to access direct support services effectively instead of being repeatedly unheard by city and state bureaucracies like they are now. Filipinos and AAPIs need proper linkages to care that are culturally sensitive, including support to obtaining health insurance, since Filipino New Yorkers are most likely to not have insurance coverage. Also in that vein, Filipinos and Filipino Americans make up just 4% of registered nurses in the U.S., but account nearly for a third of all COVID-related deaths among registered nurses. This was not a coincidence. This was a systemic failure that showcased the gap between the holistic foundations and cultural competent services of support widening between our community. It is alarming. We should all be really angry that in fiscal year 2022, AAPI organizations only received 4.46% of city council discretionary dollars, despite representing 18% of New York City population. Why is it so easy to appreciate our food, our culture, and our people? But when the time comes to be decisive on critically impactful decisions, our community is left out of the table. Our community is ignored. Our community is excluded and left marginalized and left vulnerable. This disparity in funding is unacceptable and needs to be addressed now. AAPI communities have been historically underfunded and overlooked, and this must stop. AAPI-led and serving organizations provide critical services to our communities. Every person here represents a community organization that provides services to our community. So thank you for your work. Equitable funding for AAPI-led and serving organizations is not only a matter of social justice, it is also essential for the well-being and prosperity of our great city. By investing in these organizations, by investing to every person here that showed up in the rain.
Showing up in the rain!
We need to make sure that we are represented. Again, what we are asking for is equity to ensure that our community is not left behind and our community needs are met. So I stand here today on behalf of NAPA New York, supported by this diverse and intersectional coalition to advocate for equitable funding, support, and investment towards historically underserved and siloed AAPI communities, including the 89,000 Filipinos in New York City. Thank you.
Thanks, Rochelle. I think I just saw two members come in. I want to shout out Armenian American Action Network and Kinding Sandao, who both do amazing work. And you know, I'm a man of symbolism, right? And I believe that if they got money to construct it, to fix the stairs, they got money to put into a budget that supports our communities, right? If we talk about symbolism, we got to talk about how that stairs is a pathway to their office. Now we want a pathway to equity and safety and mental health support and creative arts support, right? And so, introducing your next speaker, I want to introduce Julie Ma, the Director of Strategy of the Korean American Family Service Center, who do amazing work. Amazing work.
Thank you, thank you. Well, it's raining. It doesn't stop us, right?
No!
Right!
Stop us!
18% and growing. Again, my name is Julie Ma, Director of Strategy at Korean American Family Service Center. AAPI communities by the percentage, the fastest growing group in New York City, making up 18% of the population. Unfortunately, AAPI-led organization receive less than 5% of the dollars that is going into the budget. The Korean American Family Service Center, serving immigrant survivors of gender-based violence, sex trafficking, child abuse, serving this very community. We are demanding equitable funding alongside with over 90 AAPI-led and serving organizations. We are the community, 18% and growing. Let's fight for this together. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Now, I want to acknowledge that this month is AAPI Heritage Month, right? And there's a reason why we're going across New York City to rally for an equitable budget in the month that is supposed to symbolize and uplift our heritage, right? Now, for those who don't understand what this month means to us, it means not just posting that this is AAPI Heritage Month, not just taking a picture with us or doing a celebration because it's AAPI Heritage Month. Put your money where your mouth is and fund the AAPI community and the diaspora that we truly are. So I want to introduce our next speaker, coming down from the boogie down Bronx. He's an executive director of Sopna Dia Basusan.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. I'm a stand-in today, so I'm going to try and be as eloquent as I can. I see behind me this beautiful tableau of AAPI New Yorkers, and it brings me joy and happiness, but it also makes me sad because we're standing here in the cold and the rain asking for money that our community deserves. We shouldn't need to stand here every year. We come in snow, we come in sun, we come in rain, asking for money. But why? This is money we should just get. We're doing the work every day, day in, day out. And so next year, I hope that we don't have to stand here because we get the money, right? Right? We we should be in our offices doing our work, serving the community. But we're here today, and so I want to take that time to just shine light a little bit on one of the projects that the City Council has funded, Access Health. Felicia mentioned, right? We're asking for $4 million this year. Some of you might think that sounds like a lot, but it's not, right? $4 million is nothing when you think about the city budget. $4 million is the difference between someone having food, someone having benefits, someone having insurance, someone having a house over their head. That $4 million will in turn save this city so many, many, many millions. It's not giving us money, it's saving the city money. Right? So Access Health is one of the only city council initiatives that a lot of these groups here are actually able to get. It allows us to bring so much really needed benefits to our community, and it saves lives. I remember as a public health student learning health is wealth. And I see that every day, right? If we don't have health, we don't have anything. We can't work, we can't enjoy our lives and really thrive in this city, right? We keep saying 18%. That means 1 in 5 New Yorkers is AAPI. 1 in 5, right? 1 in 5 means that we run this city, and we need the money that shows that we run this city. Thank you.
Thanks, Dia. I really appreciate that. I think one thing to note is the lack of critical investments in legal services and immigration investments in our community, where we are a community that requires that support, and we have been isolated and divided, and we have not been included and added to that table. Well, I say break that table. Break that table, and we're going to show up there. No chair, we don't need a chair. We're going to show up there, we can stand in the room. So I'm going to pass it off to Angela Lee, the Civic Engagement Coordinator for Immigrant Social Services, to talk about some immigration work.
Hi, my name is Angela Lee, and I'm the Civic Engagement Coordinator for Immigrant Social Services, a nonprofit providing direct services to Asian and immigrant families in Chinatown and the Lower East Side since 1972. Last weekend, we hosted the second annual Blasian March Book Fair, where we gave out free books for Black, Asian, and Blasian authors to build solidarity through storytelling. As the coordinator for volunteers, I had the opportunity to meet and work with a group of high school students, all immigrants who've been in New York for less than a year. During breaks, we talked about their difficulty with adjusting in school due to language barriers and shared tips on learning English, as well as important resources. I bring this very recent encounter to underscore 2 very important points. The first being that immigrants have and will always continue to make up a large part of our community. Immigrant and immigrant families continue to face challenges of adapting to the new country. These include learning a new language, navigating vastly different social and governmental systems, while also having to deal with inadequate housing and limited employment opportunities. As such, we need the city and state to continue investing in culturally competent and linguistically accessible services provided by AAPI organizations, because an investment in us is an investment in a community-driven solutions for our most vulnerable populations. Second, I want to showcase the many creative ways in which community organizations are mobilizing to address community needs. From art programming to chair yoga for seniors, we are actively imagining and working toward a better future. During COVID-19, we stepped up to feed our community and provide prevention care for our seniors. In response to the resurgence of anti-Asian hate and violence, we stepped up to hold safety trainings for our communities, and I've also learned to lean on one another to learn how to grieve and heal. At ISS, every day our staff are on the front lines keeping children at our after-school programs safe and engaged. We take a holistic approach to nurturing children by providing prevention education, counseling, youth development, and employment. These services are essential, not nice to haves, not luxuries, but essential. An equitable budget enables us to meet these essential needs that allows our community to thrive, not just survive, so that we can collectively strive for a more vibrant New York. We are 18% and growing, and we demand and deserve an equitable budget.
Thanks, Angela. When I say we are, you say 18% and growing. We are! 18% and growing! We are! 18% and growing! Yo, folks, I can't hear y'all in the back. I see CMP brought 40 people out. I need to hear y'all in the back. We are! 18% and growing! All right, that's right, that's right. And so for our last speaker, I know it's raining. I want to introduce John Park. He's the Executive Director of Minkwon Center for Community Action.
Thank you. I'm just kind of like slotting in here, and I really appreciate it. I want to say a few things. The first thing is give yourselves all a hand and applause for showing up in the rain. This is what our community does. We show up. Okay? I want to talk a little bit about why we are here, but before we kind of go into that a little bit more, I just want to let folks know that this isn't our first time even in the rain. We've been in the snow. We started out when this was called the 12% and Growing Coalition. This is how long we've been doing this shit. I'm sorry. This is how long it's been happening. All right. I want to talk a little bit about Flushing specific, because there's stuff happening right in my neighborhood, and it's being impacted, and it's indicative of what's happening across the city. Okay? Because when we're talking about hate, what is actually the worst form of hate? Is it the racist in your face? No, it's the person that invisibilizes you. You don't even exist. You're not even a contender. You don't have a voice. The worst form of hate is being not seen. What's happening in New York City and this budget, the fact that, and I'm going to put this out there because we can use this number, 18%, we're close enough. 1 in 5 New Yorkers are Asian American. 1 in 5. When we have that kind of number, that kind of presence, right? Where is our power? That has not equated to our power. When we need resources, and we're getting what, 2 or 3% of what the city has, right? That's invisibilizing and dismissing our entire community. That is a product of our battle for fighting anti-hate. This is why we're here. In Flushing right now, we are the Mink-One Center is part of, John Park, he hit Mink-One Center for Community Action. I'm just really excited to be here. Thank you. So in Flushing, we're part of the anti-poverty campaign. Flushing has 28 times the poverty of the rest of New York City. Not only that, we have the lowest PPP rates for the businesses, for those loans, of any neighborhood in New York City. And why do we all know these things? It's not just Flushing, right? It's all of our communities, because we're dealing with language access. We're dealing with all kinds of barriers. We have long-term economic barriers to success. Right? And what are they doing in this situation? They're like, hey, let's just build a casino next to them, right? Right. Or how about this? This is how we're being invisibilized, right? When we try to keep our communities whole in the redistricting process, and the entire community supports keeping our communities whole, and behind closed doors, they break up the South Asian community in Richmond Hill. When they need to pull population, who do they just sacrifice from? They take it from our community to build power. When they need resources, they take it from our community. And we're here to say enough is enough. We're not standing for this anymore. Every year, we come out here and we show up. And it's time for our reps who we voted in to show up for us. We're sick of being dismissed with the budget. We're sick of the anti-Asian violence. We're sick of the city and everyone's response to our needs. I'm going to do a quick little chant. So I can't see these. That's a quick little call and response. All you got to say, but say it loud, is stand up and fight back when I say the response. And let's say it loud. Let's mean it. When we say we're going to stand up and fight back, let's use our voices. Let's say it loud so that they can maybe hear it over at City Hall.
That's right.
When Asian Americans are under attack, what do we do? When our budgets and our resources are under attack, what do we do? When our families, our mothers, our children, our parents, our grandparents are under attack and afraid to go on the street, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Louder so they can hear. What do we do? And that's why we're here. Don't forget that.
Thanks, John. John was the final speaker, so we have to give him that amount of time in the chat, you know. So, in closing, I want to say thank you, everyone, for coming out here. Again, give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause, because we'll be invisible no more. We'll be invisible no more. And again, so we're kicking this off as our first rally in Manhattan. We're going to be heading to Queens next week. We're going to be heading to Brooklyn the week after that. And we're going to be heading down to the Boogie Down Bronx right after that. I apologize, Staten Island, but we'll be there next year. So again, we are the 18% and Growing campaign, and we're going to take a group picture to acknowledge our presence here between 250 Broadway and between City Hall. So if everyone can come in for the picture. I'm gonna. Thank you so much. Not even yet. Francis, you got the bag? Francis, you got the bag? Can everyone condense in? Yeah, condense. Sorry.
One, two. Can we do a scan? Let's do a video scan. Alright. Let's do a We Are 18% chant too. And then you can video. Are we videoing? Are we videoing? Let's see. Yes. Alright. Ready? We are 18%! 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 We are 18%!